All right. I think that's everything, right? I do. Okay. Anyone else coming from UMC? We're good. Go ahead and get started. Um, Welcome. Good morning. My name is Tim Hyman. I am the district sales manager here in Charlotte. Really appreciate everyone coming out this morning. You know, anybody can sell toilet paper, but here at Kelsan, we'd like to bring a little more value to the table with new product ideas, training, and we're so thankful to have CPI with us today. Chris Sublett, Doug with CPI. I'm going to transition this over to them today. Basically, the agenda is going to be we want to walk you guys through all of their fantastic new ideas and products. Then we're going to, after about 45 minutes, we're going to take a break. We've got lunch catered in, ready for everyone, and then we'll take questions after that. And again, thank you. But before we start and hand it over to CPI, I kind of wanted to introduce the entire Kelsan team. You know, we are a true team here, and I'm so thankful to be a part of this. And to my right is Andy Smith. He's our director of brands. Andy Smith sort of started all of this. Kelsan Charlotte and made us successful and built what we have here today. And I can't thank him enough for putting the team together. I've got some big shoes to fill. To my left, we have Mike Petrie, facility supply specialist. Mike has been with us 14 years. So we've got a lot of experience in this room. Leah Cochran, also a facility supply specialist. She does a wonderful job for us. Leah is one of our youngest on the team, as you can tell how young she is, but she's still been with us 5 years? Coming up on 5 years. All right, then we have, I'll go to Blake first. Blake is does a little bit of everything for us. I don't know what I would do without Blake. Blake runs our store, helps me on a day in and day out basis, extremely knowledgeable. So he wears multiple hats. Not only does he manage the store, but helps us behind the scenes with back orders. And he knows a little bit about everything. Blake has just been an amazing addition. We've only had him for a couple of years. We're extremely thankful to have him. And then Mandy is also one of our senior reps who's been with us 13 years. And she's just really done an amazing job for us. And then on the camera here, we have Arena. And Arena is our business development lead. And she's just really hit the ground running. And so we've got a tremendous team here in Charlotte. Of course, we have 2 service techs that work in the back. So I bring this up because there's so much more we can offer than just selling toilet paper, selling chemicals. Of course, today we've got a fantastic team here to walk us through this new microfiber system. But I just like to, anytime we have an audience, and especially since we're live streaming today, I like to reiterate that, hey, we're a lot more in Kelsan than just a paper provider. We love to do training. We love to help out with any equipment needs. So please just keep that top of mind for us. And we love any opportunities you guys can show us. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Chris and his team. And we're thankful to have him here today. And Chris,
thank you. Appreciate it. Thank all of you. I know you're all busy. We appreciate it. So we're going to kind of run through this thing real quick. So probably all wondering, microfiber. We already use microfiber. What are we doing here? Well, CPI has been in business for 17 years. Okay. And Doug and I are here. We're not here to sell you anything. What we're going to show you is why our items are different and how we can probably help you clean your facilities better, faster. We're not going to tell you we're going to save you any money because we don't know if we can save you any money. But past experiences is when we've gone into school systems and hospitals and nursing homes, we have been able to show folks how to save money on labor, how to save money on product, and how to clean their facilities a little bit better. So if you got an open mind and everybody wants to see what can we do better, what can we do faster, that's what we're gonna show you. So again, my name is Chris Sublett. I'm the broker rep. I'm going to turn over to Doug Lehman, who is our trainer, and we're going to go through and he's going to walk through our product line, If there's any questions, just shout it out. We want this to be interactive. We want to answer all your questions. And there's no such thing as a bad question. Believe me, I've asked a lot of them. So appreciate it. I'm going to turn it over to Doug.
Thank you, Chris, Tim, Andy, everyone in Kelsan. Appreciate this opportunity very much. And again, I'm Doug Lehman. I'm with a company called CPI. We are located in Holland, Michigan, which is a little by the lake over on that side of the state, which they call the west side. I don't live there. I live outside of the Boston area. I here 15 years, 17 years, 20 years. I just want to say, let's just say I'm going to attend my 54th ISSC show here. So I've been doing this for quite some time. The vast majority of my career has been in marketing. Now, let me tell you something. When you introduce yourself to something on an airplane, I've traveled extensively over the years, and they ask them, what do you do? I sell mops and mats. Let me tell you something. All of a sudden, it's like, they don't want to talk to you. They're like, what does this person have to offer? But in our world, ladies and gentlemen, in what we do every day, there were so many things that are available in the world that we have never really taken a close look at. And particularly in the situation that we've been in the past few years with the COVID, with all the unbelievable situations that you have had to deal with the different restructuring of your organizations, certain cleaning that you had to do, the protocols you have to follow. These were all new to you. And that's what we do at CPI. We believe in bringing best practices to our work. The owner of my company's name is Dave Maurer. He was with the old Service Master Company for a long, long time. He is an engineer, so he is the one that facilitates the manufacturing of all of our products. He runs all the manufacturing facilities, both in the United States as well as 7 different companies or countries around the world. And I'll go through a lot of that as I start my presentation. But here's what I'd like to say. And Chris started it off quite well. I'm not here to sell you. I'm here to teach you what microfiber today is what it's about. Because there's been dramatic changes in microfiber. And there's been dramatic improvements in the products that you may still be using simply because maybe that message didn't get delivered to you. But here's what we want to do to you today. We will offer you any questions answered. If you have any interest and you'd like to see us at some point in time come in and make a presentation, please work through your sales associate here at Kelsan, because that's what we do. We also go this far. We will go as far as putting a certain amount of product into your facility and allowing a test to go on. That test goes on for a few weeks. We do all the training for that staff person that will do the test. This is no charge to you. This is for you to see physically what we can offer you and the best practices. So, we're going to start? Great, thank you. Okay, well, you are with healthcare, correct? If I may ask, you are in long-term, short-term care? Long-term, you're acute healthcare, am I correct? Hospital acute. You're at the university? All Class A office buildings. Contract cleaning? Oh, you're both in the contract cleaning. Do you specialize in any, or wherever we need to clean, we clean? Or
It's a little more like with the textile and the wood on almost like.
okay, so great. Well, we service all of those markets very, very well. And what I'm going to try to do is bring all the markets, the different applications, in to the conversation and let them understand a lot. So, but I asked most of you when you came in, you're all using some form of microfiber, contract cleaning as well. And that's wonderful. But here's the biggest objection that I have run into, and I know all of the sales associates I've run into with end users. And that is when you ask, have you ever tried to do something different? How do we convert? And the biggest objection we run into is human nature. And that human nature is, I don't want to change. I don't want to change what I've been doing for the past 20 or 30 years. And that makes it hard for us when we try to make change or bring change to individuals. So the more we kind of open up our mind, the more that we can see, maybe this does have something that really offers me something unique and different. That's really what all of us are looking for today. And it's invigorating to see that type of change. So with that being said, what I'd like to do is have each of you just pick up this little cloth that I gave you and take this home. This is our microfiber. This is the product that we manufacture. All of our products start off in this fashion. Many of you are not familiar with microfiber, that it actually starts off as plastic. Microfiber starts off as a plastic pellet about 3 times the size of a BB. We are the only company in the industry today worldwide that actually makes our own microfiber thread. That thread would be like the thread that I would sew on a button. But here's the difference. That thread, to be microfiber, needs to be less than 1 denier. Now that is actually a textile term. Let me give you a perfect example of what a denier may be. If you pluck a strand of hair from your head, that is 1 denier. To be microfiber, it needs to be 100 times thinner than that single strand of human hair. You can't see it unless it's plied into multiple. And that's simply the difference of microfiber. There are a lot of products that claim to be microfiber. Quite honestly, they are not really and truly microfiber program. And that's important because of the performance of the product provides you, as well as the longevity. And that's something else that's very, very important, how long the products last. Because that's what we commit and promise to you in your facilities, that our products will last longer, they will work better, they will save you money, and you will save money in terms of the purchasing and the turnover aspect. That single strand is made in South Korea. We have a partnership with a company over there that makes all of our threads. All that thread is then coursed down, basically means it's plied, and you end up with something that looks very similar to this. This material is shipped to China, Bangladesh, as well as Vietnam. In those locations, we have because most of the germs and diseases and viruses and bacteria are passed from touch. Now, it may be emitted from the mouth, it may come out there, but then what does it happen? It becomes aerosol, and it goes to that surface, and then you didn't know, you touch it, and then you do one of these. So what ends up happening is that's how you get sick. That's how other people get past sickness. And our objective is to clean at the highest level possible. There's a new organization, part of ISSA, which the owner of Kelsan just stepped down as the president, which is a 2-year commitment, which is quite a commitment. And it's called GBAC. GBAC is a government organization, part of ISSA. ISSA is the International Standard Supply Association. They are the ruling body of everything we do around the world. And GBAC has some very distinguished individuals that have now formed this organization. I sent Tim some very valuable information this morning. We are part of their team. They actually selected CPI as the first product source for this organization. And amongst that person is a doctor who was very much involved in Ebola. I'm sure you're familiar with the Ebola scare that came around 2014. Body, you'll notice that it has a tendency to stick to you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's one of the most critical aspects of microfiber. And here is the reason why. Every surface that we have, every surface that you clean has pores. And there are pores even in stainless steel, although most people don't think there are. And what happens is that pore, or those pores of that surface, is where the soil goes and it collects. And unless you can go down and remove the soil pathogens, germs, and viruses from those surfaces, you're not cleaning. Let's be honest here. How many are familiar with slop mopping? I got a hand raise. Do you know that 80% of the schools in the United States still slop mop? I would believe it. So they're going into that restroom with a bucket full of water, and maybe it's disinfectant, and they mop on the floor, and then they go to the next bathroom. Now, we're talking about contamination, we're talking about improper cleaning technique, but if you look at that restroom that has grouted floors, what's happening with all the stuff that we know goes on the restroom floor? It's just being spread around. What happens to the edges, the sides, the corners of the baseboard, behind the toilets, where people don't want to reach down and clean that? I have not seen anyone lately bending over and removing soil from the edges. So this is what we talk about cleaning. And when we talk about that, we use our 4D system. We call it 4-dimensional cleaning. Our microfiber allows you to do that because of this. We will take whatever mop or cloth that we utilize with whatever chemical or solution that you purchase, and we will show your staff how to clean more effectively and remove more film. If you remove more of that film, you'll have a lower amount of soil, you'll have a lower amount of bacteria, and therefore the surface will be easy to clean and much better and easier to maintain. The thread that we use, again, as I said, is designed and manufactured by us. We call it trio split microfiber. That trio split microfiber actually spreads and splits the ends of the material 3 times. The average other products in the industry, when you look at something like that, and cloths, this is what we call a first generation microfiber. Our product is 3rd generation microfiber. The difference in the product is the amount of hooks and the relationship to the hooks and how long they will last. And that's a major difference. The other aspect of this triple split technology that we've invented, and we patented it, is that in most cases, when someone is using microfiber, this is the microfiber that they use. I asked every one of you when you all kind of shook your hands, like this, pretty much what we're doing. And this is the first generation of microfiber. To be truly microfiber, it needs to be split like ours. Unfortunately, many of these products are not split. And the reason they're not split is because the microfiber was made initially for slip covers or for pants or raincoat. Believe it or not, microfiber is used in our everyday lives over and over and over. So when the microfiber has a surplus in the market, it's bought up by a broker. Those brokers sell material to different manufacturers. And it's kind of a cut and paste. They make some products up and away they go. Question. When you use one of these, are you happy with the amount of square footage that you are damp mopping? Most people tell me no, because you can't damp mop any more than 75 square feet. And you are pre-treating these so they will not accept any more moisture. A couple things to be very much aware of. These products will work fine if you're satisfied with minimal amount of moisture and minimal amount of pickup. But I mentioned a minute ago about edges, sides, and corners and baseboards. You have nothing to go around and clean those areas with this design of product. The other thing I'd like to bring up is simply this. Every one of these microfibers has material on the inside. This one has foam rubber. Why did they put foam rubber in? Because of what you shook your head at. Because it doesn't hold enough moisture. Remember what I said a moment ago. Our Trio Split technology will remove the soil, but at the same time, it holds additional moisture. And that allows us to damp mop between 600 and 600 square, which is a huge improvement and allows for much less mop usage, particularly ladies in your healthcare situation and in your education departments. And in your situation, you have double patients a lot of times in your long-term care facilities. You have larger rooms, you just don't have a 275 square foot restroom. So down to some of the aspects that we bring to the market. This one here, they just substituted all different types of stuff. And there's all different types of material. The question I ask all of you is this. Are you processing these in-house yourself? Do you have your own washers and dryers? Hospital, no? How do you get your product? So it's a laundry. The college there, sir, do you wash everything yourself? Excuse me? Take it home with them. Okay, that's different. I've never heard of that before. Okay, so they're washing their own product and they bring it back each day. All right. And then this one here again, you can see that there is all different types of floor plan. The biggest objection we get, after about 4 or 5 months, they fall off the crane. Anybody run into that once in a while? Most of the time? Here's what happens here. As I said, I've been doing this for a couple of years. I was very much involved in the industrial rental industry, textile rental industry, and that basically is the Cintas, the Aeromarsh, the Universe that are renting products to you. They are doing microfiber now, and usually they have washing things down pretty good. They know how to run washers, dryers, they know how to get the product around the system. But what I learned in many years of working with them is this. Many of you have come to us and switched to our company because of this. These do not last very long. You can get 50 to 75 washes out of them, and people are generally happy. But with a cost of about $14, that gets relatively expensive on the return on the investment when you think about how many times they will be used and then processed. It's critical that microfiber is washed correctly. It's critical that microfiber is washed multiple times to remove anything that's kept inside. But what happens to products that will do this? While they're being laundered in a 300 and 400 pound machine, they're being battered. Then they're being put into a dryer at 175 degrees for 45 minutes to an hour. And that's why this backing material wears out prematurely. And it's not guaranteed. You could get 100 washers, you can get 50 washers, but it will not be guaranteed by the manufacturer. The reason it has to be dried for so long is obviously because of the stuff they put inside there. Because you can't leave these damp or wet. You need to put them in the dryer to be allowed. So to bring an example of that, let me show you what we do. We're very active in healthcare, education, some contract cleaning, particularly specialty areas, but our vast majority of the business is in the healthcare, in the laundry, not just in this country, but all over the world. This is our microfiber bond. Pass that on one side. All of the colors of the same product. We believe in color coding. We believe as we go through our 4D program here that you need to color code what you're using in specific locations, especially where there may be contamination takes place. So I refer to a product which I sent. Well, maybe you notice that all has material basically on. Here's our mop. It's been cut in the center. Notice that it's 2 layers of mesh. Pre-laundered, coated mesh. There's nothing in between. You'll notice also as I pass this around in a moment that all of our sewing is double stitched. May mean nothing to you, but it means a lot to us because we know we want this to last a long time. The only company in the world that guarantees and proves how long our products have been in use, and I'll show you that in a minute. We also don't believe in using a hook and loop backing. Some people call it Velcro. Believe me, there's no Velcro on the back of the. If anybody's gone out on Velcro lately, it is very expensive. It's a nylon hook and loop system, but it is not the real Velcro. Obviously, I lived in New Hampshire as well sometime, and that company has been fundamental in developing more products not just out in the world. What we use is a pocket system. It was developed from the old rental industry, where there used to be a collapsible frame and handle. But rather than having to try to get it straight, use it, or even get it to attach, and then when you have to take it off, even with double gloved hand, you have to remove it with your hand. Harder for me to do it here, but I'll do it during lunch. I'll do it on this floor over here. You can see how simple and easy it is to get the product on and to get the product off at the same time. Here's an example of longevity. These mops are the Yale New Haven Medical Center. Yale New Haven is a 1,600 bed hospital. It has 57 operating rooms in one building and 75 operating rooms in another building. It covers 6 city blocks in New Haven, Connecticut. It is huge. They use 8,000 to 10,000 of our mops every single day. These mops, I'm going to pass them, have been through the following. They are washed in 500-pound machines, and they are dried in 500-pound gas-fired dryers. This mop is 1 year old. It's been between 150 and 175 processes. Mop is 2 years old. This mop is 3 years old. How do I know that? And every product we manufacture with our microfiber, we actually put a born date on it. That is changed every month and every year. So right now we're making October 2021. So literally, I can walk in your door a year and a half from now. We'll be walking around the facility. I'll pick one of your mops up and I'll say, this mop's been here a year already. Wow, that's impressive. So we talk about return on investment. That's how we return on investment. We guarantee these mops for 1,000 processes. And that is significant. Very significant. Average life at Yale, 5.2 years. They're clean, I'll pass. How much this business has grown, to be honest with you? I have a very large laundry in Connecticut. They're actually putting radio frequency chips in this pocket. A radio frequency chip is used to track the mop's life and where it is in the hospital and how it gets back to the laundry and how they charge. And it's amazing because they have these scanners now that there's 500 or 600 soil mops in a laundry bag, a very large laundry bag, and they can actually scan at 99.9%. It comes back. So we're getting very, very sophisticated. The ability to track product and make sure the product is returned correctly. I think one of the most frustrating things that I've talked to when I see staff members, when they're using microfiber is, I never get product that's working good. I never get the mop that sticks on the frame. I'm always chasing the mop. I'm always going through the inventory. So these are things that we're trying to get away from. I know management tells me that they're losing mops. I don't think the mops are getting lost. I think the staff has picked up, these are not going to go back to me again. So I'm going to throw them away now. And that's exactly what's happened when you ask the staff quietly one day, and I go, yeah, I don't want that thing back there. I'm just going to chuck it. Well, that's where the losses are coming. And that's where your return on the investment goes very, very high. In relationship to our microfiber and what we bring, here's what we believe in. We believe that we should be able to save 80% of the water. And I'm sorry, Kelsan salespeople, 80% of the chemicals. You know, that's hard. I've been in this business for many, many years. But we also believe, and I know Kelsan does, in best practice. And what we believe thoroughly in is properly pre-treating products the way that they're supposed to be used and the intention of use. And what we simply have done is this. This is our pre-treatment bucket for our larger 18-inch mops. This is the how to pre-treat chart that's laminated normally. I put this in my bag before I get it laminated. That would be provided in every pollution control system you have that shows exactly how our mops are done. If you notice in here, there's a little bucket with a decal. I apologize, I thought we'd have that with us today, but it got left behind. And in this little tiny bucket, which is 1.5 gallons, is a decal. And that decal shows 4 product selections. 18-inch mops, 11-inch utility mop, 9 by 11-inch cloths, and or 16 by 16-inch cloth. That depends on the facility. Long-term care, acute care, education, contract cleaning. And quite simply, what we do and what we believe in doing is this. When your staff are trained by us, they will take whatever they need for mop. They will put the mops in this bin. They will go to the dilution center. So if I had 24 mops in here, which is the max you can put in, I would fill that bucket to the fill line that had the number 24 and the picture of the particular product. And I will pour from right to left or left to right. The reason that it works so well is we have mesh without anything in it. So it immediately starts from the top and it works itself down. Done correctly and waiting 5 minutes without tipping it over, you will have these mops perfectly pre-treated, not getting soaking wet, and just take the bucket and put it over my head. And I will not have a wet head. That's how, number one, you save a significant amount of water and solution. And
Are you finding that your top mops are less saturated than the bottom mops? Yep. We also finding that you probably are leaving about that much chemical in the bucket that you get.
or more.
Or more.
Thank you.
With ours, if you measure it correctly, might have a small amount, but our microphones are designed to absorb that. One of the reasons that you're getting, you're not getting the saturation at the top is because you probably put them in and everything's on the bottom there, especially to pick it up and turn over. Again, like Doug said, let's get that phone in the middle of that thing. But with ours, if you notice, it all flows through, and it all disperses signal.
Thank you, Chris. And this allows the following. Healthcare activity. Yale Medical Center. Average room in the United States hospitals are between 290 and 310 square feet, single occupancy, small bathrooms. The floors are all different types of VCT. There's some synthetic coating flooring being put down. Most of the restrooms are either grouted floors, some of them no epoxy. In most acute situations, we are going into that room and we are no longer dust mopping. Because in dust mopping procedures, it's been done incorrectly for many, many years. They've used the same dust mop for all 20 rooms, which means second patient ended up with something from the first patient and then it goes down. We go in with one of these, one mop, pre-treated. We start at the back of the patient room and we damp mop out. We then go to the restroom. We finish the restroom out. We come out to where your cart would be. These nice, beautiful carts. And that's when you would take your soil off. One mop, one room, no contamination. Just think of the amount of laundry you just cut down. Think of the amount of washes that you cut down. And think about the amount of product that you waste. And I'm going to disagree with Chris a little bit, because when I go in the facility, most of those buckets are full of water. And you know why? Because the staff thinks that if they fill the bucket all the way out, that the mop may get a little bit more square footage, but it's not going to happen. Because remember what I said a moment ago? Microfiber has to have all of those hooks to hold, because microfiber doesn't absorb like a mop does. So there is a difference there. That chart that I'm passing around will allow us to utilize our training, both in person, but also with videos and everything else that can be used to make sure that the staff is trained correctly. The other thing that we recommend doing is this. If any of you are in healthcare again, and you want to clean that facility at a very high level, and you've got certain particular soil situations, how do you clean a ceiling right now when you go into a terminal room? Just don't know what a terminal room is. That is a room that's either had a cancer patient in it, or it's an expired room and it has to be cleaned four-dimensionally, just like we say, from the top down. Excuse me? Every night we do, sure. But
Or every, well, in when workplace and everything, sort of clean between each.
yeah. If it's not a piece of microfiber that people look at, they go, well, that's amazing. What is that? Well, this is our microfiber, but it's been done very uniquely. This would go into your facility. It would be put into those 24 mops that we're using, for example, to clean the walls and the ceiling or the OR. This is pre-treated just as one of the counts. That mop has minimal moisture, and I like to clean the OR ceiling without goggles being on, or without water dripping in my head and chemical coming down, or for your staff to be using regular patients without any drips. The biggest objection that people get now when using regular mop to clean the walls, all the paint we're using now is green. And the minute you put water on green paint, it automatically leaves the spot and stain. And we've had excellent success with utilizing this product. Particularly if you notice at the end there's little bumpers there. And the ladies in the hospital would see what those are. You know what that's for? The fire suppression system in the ceiling with OR. Because I get stories about trying to clean the ceiling with a wedge mop, hit the fire suppression, which is the sprinkling system, and they set them off. So that's how we designed that product to be used. And we use the same frame. Very simple, very easy. In terms of education, or in your situation, if you have whiteboards to clean, same pad. This is a wonderful little tool that we have designed, and we patented this as well. And it is designed as it is for being a trowel. So I would take that pad, I would put this on this trowel, I would pre-treat this pad as well as the other 11-inch pads, color-coded if need be, into our smaller pre-treat buckets. And now I'm cleaning with pressure being applied, not leaving a mark on the wall, minimal amount of moisture. Disinfecting, I'll be able to do the light switches and the bars and so on and so forth, grab bars and so on. But this has another really valuable asset. It has a black light in it. And let me just tell you, we do not sell this to be utilized, and I'm right up front with it, to criticize staff. I'll tell you why. I've been in a lot of hospitals, and I can't believe how these poor people are treated. Because if they decided to walk out of the door, the hospital wouldn't be working anymore because no one's going to clean up the mess. We designed this to be used to teach people how to clean more effectively. So you can go in a restroom, which looks absolutely pristine, and you turn the lights off, and you turn this light on, and it's like, oh my God, what happened here? So that's what this is. It's lithium battery. It has a 10-hour runtime. Tell you a cute story. Hope you don't find it objectionable. We sell a very large casino in Connecticut. It's actually the largest casino in the world gambling for. It's on the Kelsan reservation. It's an Indian-owned operation. It's magnificent, and we, through a distributor, do a lot. And the salesperson brought this in. These salespeople can kind of fill in with this a little bit. And I'm with this gentleman, and he goes, "Hey, I got to show you this new tool. You can't believe this. This is the president of the casino, who is a Native American, hair down to his shoulders, $5,000 suit, and he's probably 6'8", 300 pounds. He is a massive master." So we go up and we're showing him all this, and he goes, "Well, let's go see my bathroom." And his bathroom is black marble. You can only imagine. Turn the lights out. Turn it on. It's immaculate, except there's a handprint up here. What's that? And the salesperson says, "You idiot, you peed on up there. She can't reach it." He goes, "I want 200 of these." What do they use them for? Every bathroom in the casino. He's teaching the staff areas that you don't think about. They need to be clean. And you know what? It's been very successful. So that's where I bring our innovation and our technology into this presentation. And we have things that nobody else would think. To the extent that this is color-coded, if it had to be taken with a different hand off and using it in different ways, and that is, there it is. And they also manufacture, make sure that you're cleaning showers, tile, fiberglass, again with microfiber, but it will not scratch the fiberglass dolls and all of that. It does a wonderful job on both fiberglass as well as grouted stalls. So we have all of those two types of tools, including a glass pad. And if any of you are in education, if you've been involved in education, criteria today in schools, particularly K through 12, is that most of the desks in those classrooms should be cleaned and disinfected daily. I don't know if you know it or not. I know a lot of the sales staff does. Those desks are not cleaned daily. They are not disinfected. And they are basically left until someone brings it up. And the reason is they don't have time. They don't have staff. They don't have a way to do it. Our system basically does this. This card, this system, I go in and we teach the school how to clean a classroom in less than 5 minutes, 4-dimensional, which means anything up above that needs to be dusted, we would maintain with our microfiber dusting tool. We would then take off and utilize this system to clean anything that's spotted on the walls, the whiteboard, the blackboard, the chalkboard. We either utilize a pad such as this or a pad such as that. At the same time, we get to the desks. These are all pre-treated. They'll come out of these kits. I will clean 24 desks, which is the standard in the United States in a high school. It's about 1,100 square feet, standard size classroom, in under 5 minutes after the first 4 days of us getting our system in there. Because what I'm now doing is this. If they are cleaning the desk, you know what they're doing? Trigger sprayers and rags. It can't be done. Because where did that rag come from yesterday? Was it clean? Was it washed? Was it just laid in the corner? Was it dirty? Where's it been? Now every day we're coming with a fresh, professionally trained crew. So I'm now standing up straight. If I adjust this handle from where I'm going to be that way, I start in the back of the classroom. I clean the desk, in the seat, bang, 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 bang. 24 desks, less than a minute. That's amazing. I think maybe we could do something. But how do they clean it? That is our washing machine. It's just like the Maytag at home. It fits in the janitor closet. It hooks up to hot and cold water. Your dump valve goes into the sink of the slop sink. And you can take all of the contents of this kit, which would be about 75 items, to give you a roundabout number. Put it in there, put a little bit of Tide or whatever else you have, a liquid preferably, and you hit the on switch and you push start. Depending on the cycle you select, it comes back in 34 minutes clean and no dryer. Because we don't need drying. Our microfiber doesn't absorb, remember? It's how this tail comes true. It holds. That machine goes through 3 fill dumps, fill dump, fill dump. That's a flush action. And of course, it's in a little bit of a motion. And then when the final dump gets through, this goes into a high-speed extraction of about 25 Gs. And it actually spins off any moisture that's being held on our microfiber. So if you're in education, schools, even colleges, I have in Atlanta, at every university, 400 of these past couple of years. We're cleaning the entire campus with all of our microfiber. And this is the way that they've been bringing it to the high level. It gets so interesting that medical school got involved. And they actually have some of these in their remote sites where you may not have the ability to have someone, a washer in the large area. You can put one of these in some of your closets and be able to use an off-premises, off-site situation. So that's how we come up with systems to clean and become much more proactive in terms of going about it and making it easier for you, your staff, and you are the staff as well, how to be able to be clean. Clean at a very high level. We also offer every other type of cleaning performance features. We offer all different types of products. I'll mention this. This is our cart. Dave and I, the owner and I, figured that the carts of today have been terrible. You buy a nice cart for $750. You use it for 3 months and the front wheel falls off. You order a new front wheel, you can't get one for 3 months. And if you pay $750, shouldn't there be a warranty? Well, here's what we've done. This cart is made with roto-mold construction. You buy roto-mold products right now because you're buying AutoStrong. It's exactly the same thing. We're actually making this in a plant in China that's making roto-mold tanks for many of the companies that have auto scrubbers that are being sold in the United States. Through our relationship, we know these people. This car was designed differently because, keeping in mind, it locks. And when you lock it, you are not getting in. You cannot use a butter knife late at night to try to steal somebody else's stuff out of their car. When you unlock it, but it pulls out on both sides, ladies. So now if you put the car over the door that you don't want anybody coming in, now you draw it from the other side, and now all of your components and all your products are in there. All four wheels lock. The wheels are stainless steel ball bearing. It looks big. Generally, what I do is have the smallest person in the room grab this thing and push it around, and they're like, wow, it's so easy to use. And it has features up top, pre-molded for all of your pre-treat buckets, for your gloves, for your wipes, for your coffee mug, only kidding, and a large trash bag with a support platform on the bottom. So if somebody decides to pick up a lot of trash, the bag's not going to be falling off. It's going to be able to be held. And all of our microfiber buckets fit on the front. So all of your larger pre-treat buckets are on the front. The real benefit that I get from people that I work with is when my staff leaves for the day, they have everything they need. They don't have to go back and forth, back and forth. Probably the best thing, all of your handles go in the center. All of your handles go here. And there's a reason for this. Everybody else goes here. And that's why your walls downstairs are all scratched up. Quite simple, but we solved that issue. Probably the best thing, whoever has to buy these, that's a 10-year guarantee on every part of it, including the cap. And no, it's not $4,000. Very affordably priced, and a 10-year guarantee. Let me tell you something that really most people are looking at more, to the extent that City of Minneapolis, which has 162 schools, bought 400 of these, 400 of those, and they started the school off this year with our system. And they were promised the PTA and the school people that they would get their cleaning of their schools to a higher level. And they've been working with us very closely, and we got them to that height. It's very, very satisfying for all of us. That's really what we do. One last thing that I'm just going to throw out, and we'll do this during lunch. Dust mops still need to be maintained. They still have to be used. You need to remove the heavy soil, the grit, the dust, the dirt off of the floor. We make all microfiber the same yarn, the same concept. We make them all the way to 72 inches, which is kind of unique because some companies can't make them any longer than 48 anymore. And the truth be that they can't stitch. What people don't realize, these are all made by hand. If any of you ever sewn before, I've done it myself, I've made moms. And you try to keep all of this stuff together in an industrial sewing machine, moving it around, and you're paid by the piece product, you better make sure that you know what you're doing. When they're making dust mops, these are also sewn by hand. You can imagine a 72-inch dust mop that somebody's moving it across the sew table. It's very hard to do because they don't get them straight. So when you put the frame in, it won't go in. Over here on the floor is what we call a mop top. It's our design, our patent, for your lunchtime design. Use the dust mop and remove all of the heavy soil every single day on premise by simply taking our little mop dog and an upright or a canister set up for dry pickup and hooking the two together, turning the vacuum on. You run the mop over that plate a couple of times, turn it around, and all the heavy soil comes off. Because if you look at your dust mops now, I wish you do, all coated and caked on the outside, right? You open it up inside, which is what we call the service roads, and it's clean as the day was made. Why? If you're using a cotton mop, it has to be treated. For the microfiber, it does not. Our third generation microfiber, we take up the soil and we hold it in what we call our soil pockets, which is also true on our dam mop. Lastly, what I'd like to say is this. We may not be the all solution for everyone, but I honestly feel with our association now with Kelsan and Chris and his team, that we have a lot to bring in you, for you and in your market, Kelsan sales team as well, by just coming in and doing a survey, which I look forward to doing. Love to come in, meet up with you and your supervisory personnel, take me and Kristen where you would like us to see what we can do to help you make things a little better, because that's really what it's about. To be able to service you. You know, anybody can drop a box at the end of the building. Anybody can bring a box into the back door, but that's when it stops. What we're here to do, what we believe in, is to go into the building, do the work, and help you maintain your building and make it better for everyone that comes in the door. Customers, patients, and staff as well. I'm going to open up for questions. How are we doing on lunch?
So, Doug's point, we come in and do a survey. We're not going to come in and tell you everything that you're doing wrong. We're going to come in there and ask you a question. We're not going to try to reinvent the wheel. We're trying to add to it. Okay? We want to know how you do things, why you do those things, and offer better, and where you're having issues. And offer maybe better suggestions. We may not be doing everything perfect. We may say, don't judge the thing. You know, just change the mindset. But we may be doing everything perfect. We just may have an extra tool or two that we can show you that might help with that situation. So don't feel like, I'm not those guys in there, we want everything out, we're doing wrong. Now, we're going to learn more from you than you are from us, believe me.
That's how we work. So I'm going to open up the questions. Yes?
Do you have any area on the park that wet floor plan?
Yes, we do.
Frankly,
Look, it's right there. I can put two of them on there. Yep. Okay. And the other questions?
We equal it by the area of square footage that we find the power bond.
Absolutely. Thank you. We will dam off on VCT, regular tile floor, from 600 and 650 square feet. And here's the difference. When I mentioned that we'll do a classroom in under 5 minutes after 3 or 4 days of us being in there, because of the ridiculous soil, the floors are so dirty, and there's so much soil down into the floor because they've been doing it forever, and they've never done the well. I can clean in those situations about 500 square feet the first time in the first couple of days. And then after I move that heavy soil, I'm up to 600 to 650 square feet. Literally the difference in the 50 square feet is the type of the tile and the finish on the floor and how the floor is finished and the condition of the floor. I mean, you know, some of these floors are pretty bad. I can do even more on marble. And if you've never cleaned marble floors with a microfiber, it's amazing when it does because it's clean. It mops and doesn't leave a film, and marble is prone to leave film because it shows the soil because of the way the material is made. But you're right, 600 to 650 square feet is our average. Correct? Average. If you have floors in the hospital, we call them no wax, no finish. I call them golf ball dimple floors. You know what I'm talking about? Do you try to use something like this? Perhaps. You know why? Because there's no moisture left anymore. Those dimple floors pull the moisture right out. We can damp off those floors, but that goes down to about 400 square feet because of the way those floors are designed. They're sheet goods or they're large segments that they will be glued down. But yeah, okay.
And your interior, 50%.
175 to 100, but you mean regular, the old type microphone, 75 to 100, pretty much the matter. And we don't get it if you don't get size, same from the baseboard, and you know sometimes it just falls off. Right? I'll say this: Yale uses all of our products in the OR. $8,500 every time they get somebody in that OR. They're 24/7. OR is about 1,500 square feet. I'll make it quick. And I was able to go in and show them they've been doing this, which is probably what your place is still doing. And you know why?
Please, the microphone.
Yeah, but I'm on the floor. For cleaning the floors after the OR was used, there's a lot of fluid. I won't go any further, we're gonna have lunch. And they have to get all that fluid up, and the other microfibers won't pick it up. So what we do is we come in with all red, or yellow. These are first what we use dry. No pre-treatment. And we mop up all the fluids and the chips and everything else. So goes in the laundry. Then we take these that are pre-treated. Bear with me. But this is something that I learned in Europe, I learned in Germany 20 years ago. Anybody been in an operating room lately? Hopefully just visiting us. All of that equipment is there, there's millions of dollars. They're all on casters. Those casters are never wiped down with disinfectant. They're rolled on the floor all the time. They have to be moved. So what we teach is bring all the equipment away from the wall. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
On your faces and right here, down for bar. Take a on my car, go behind all that equipment, and so we can get ready to roll it, put the back, the wheels or disinfect.
And they have some dwell time in the disinfectant. You got it. But what we're doing is we're different, because you can't get the edge. We're getting the edge, we're getting the corner, and taking an ATM meter, I've proven that we can, there's a lot of stuff sitting on the corner. So yes, that's the way that we've done it. But what we've done there is we've cut their time down for cleaning the operating room almost to half. Because they're not terminal cleaning in between service. They use a pretty high level of cleaning, but not doing the ceiling. And the reason is they're trying to turn that room over because it's $8,500 plus discount. Any other questions? Comments? Go right ahead and
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for doing that.